God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. 67 odd years of independence. 67 odd years of when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah stood on that stage, the infamous stage, and said, Ghana, my beloved country, is free forever. Is Ghana free forever? Politically, economically, and when we look at foreign dominance, is Ghana free forever? These are the issues we will talk about. Welcome to today's political show with Jude. Today, to delve in matters such as the independence of Ghana, the liberation we sought when we told the British colonialists that enough is enough. When we said we could handle and hold our affairs and then be the masters of our own future. 67 odd years. Have we been able to navigate that ship? And are we on the trajectory of success? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As you are well aware, it's politics that matters, you and I, and we will speak truth to power whenever it's necessary. I'm here with Jeff.
Hello, Jude.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Jude. What about you?
Not bad.
Great.
67 odd years. Happy Independence Day to you.
Thank you very much, and happy Independence Day to you as well.
Great. Today we're going to delve into Ghana matters. We're going to talk about 67 odd years. What do you make of Ghana's independence today?
A lot of things. So I think I'll start with the narrative of our independence. The construct of our history is one that gives you joy to be excited that we are 67 years into independence from colonial rule and all of that. So that is some positive stuff. And given that there's been some level of development, although not to the expectation per the time or per the length of years we've enjoyed independence for, it is still worth noting that it's been a great journey. It's been a great journey in a positive direction, sort of. Yeah.
So I want to start off the conversation with the successes. Then I'll also want us to take a quick look at the challenges of the Ghanaian story. Maybe you may want to interlace that with the Ghanaian dream. So I want to give you that opportunity to.
Okay, Jude. The Ghanaian dream. Let me start from that foot. This is a very, should I say, nuanced thing to talk about.
Do we even have a Ghanaian dream at all?
That is the question I was asking myself, or that was the question that was the thought I was having when you asked about the Ghanaian dream. Because to be very frank with you, as things stand now in Ghana, the common thing that runs through everybody's mind when you talk about dream, as it is now, is that for the average Ghanaian to have someone in some high profile office that they can call to or they can call upon when in need. So what I'm trying to say is that everybody is dreaming to have someone in protocol, or can call, this is my protocol. Once I pick the phone and call this person can pull the plug for me in every sector or in every sphere of our of our living as a nation. Then the next thing that comes to, or that comes close to a dream, is the aspiration of the Ghanaian. So with what I've mentioned already, it's fair to say that the Ghanaian aspire to actualize certain hopes. So the Ghanaian is positive, or is aspiring that one day things are going to change, we're going to turn the corner, and this nation is going to take on its befitting descriptions or its befitting identity and other things that we dream for. So that is what I'll talk about with regards to the dream.
Would that not be novel when we talk of the Ghanaian dream, as in the Ghanaian aspiring to see who can help them in what situation, at what point in time. Is that not deviating from the original proponents of today's independence that we so enjoy?
Yeah, so I think, to be fair enough, or as much as I know and to the best of my knowledge, I can't really pinpoint one dream that bands us together as a nation, that every individual in the nation identifies with that dream. It is that generic one that, okay, all of us one day want to see that, we want to see a Ghana that is working. Systems are in place, structures are really working, government and leadership is really working. But once I can pinpoint such phrase or tagline that bands us together as a dream, it makes the question of, is it not novel or a deviation from the original or from the those who brought us this independence? It's not a deviation. I think I would say it's just the inherent human nature, Ghanaians expressing that inherent human nature. Everybody wants to, or everybody is rational towards activities that brings rewards to them.
Yeah.
So on that
Jeff,
note alone.
yes. The brain behind, or the reason for asking that question, if you and I would recall that once upon a time, prior to the 1970s, post 1960s, where we had coups and whatnot.
Yeah.
Even in those times, let me put it this way: prior to the Fourth Republic, Ghanaians were proud to sing and chant the song Yerana Yasasini.
Yeah.
It was all about unity and then doing something for the state. Patriotism was being defended to its hilt. So could that not have been, or could that not be the Ghanaian dream? Because post the Fourth Republic, where Ghana now in 1994 had to go to the polls, then we have these political parties come in, and then little by little, our moral and, if I should say, our heritage. I don't want to say heritage. That would throw everything out. But let's say our values. Sorry, good. Our values started transforming post 1994.
Okay, so if I get you clearly, you are asking, or you want to find out that, okay, those times where we sing, even now we still do national anthem, we sing patriotic songs. There are even we do exactly.
We want those times in the 1960s. This time I'm talking about, Ghanaians are happy to go to work. These people who work in the civil service, they know they are there to serve Mother Ghana.
Yeah.
Such times and these times.
Okay, things have changed.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
That is why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Are we still living that Ghanaian dream? And even if there is a Ghanaian dream.
Okay. So I think, well, let me respond to it in this manner. So those times where we used to sing patriotic songs and all of that, I think these are songs we sing to let me say, before independence, or even right after independence. These are songs we sing to band ourselves together and celebrate the freedom. So these are songs that more like tell us about our freedom and how we should be proud that we are free from colonial rule, and now we are more like on our own, self-reliant, and we can take matters into our own hands and develop our nation. So basically, from my perspective, that dream is a dream of liberation. So it is a liberation dream at a time that held us together and kept us as a society. Which is unity. That is it. But then post the liberation era, now we are in an era where we need to identify a dream that we can tie to development. When it comes to development, that's where I think that we differ as individuals, and as a nation, we don't have a collective team. We can't sing about something that unites us and causes us to develop. But when it comes to liberation, the freedoms we enjoy, the fact that leadership is in our own hands, that we can sing about. Songs are about them. the toil of our forefathers and all of that, all those things we sing, General Assassini, they all speak, and when we sing those songs, we want to connect to each other on lines of liberations, on lines of freedom. But development, even our constitution, I think is much more of a government, or more like a freedom-based constitution than a development-based constitution. So to say. Yeah. So that's why I see, or I hold the opinion that we don't have like a collective dream as a nation as far as development is concerned. But as far as freedom, as far as defending the freedom, defending the nationhood Ghana, as far as defending our independence is concerned, all of us can fight to defend the independence and not send ourselves back to colonialism or colonial eras. But then, as much as, or as far as development is concerned, we differ on a lot of things.
We differ on a lot of things. Well, I think it brings me to my next question, as in, off the top of our heads, what should make us proud as Ghanaians?
Wow.
Because you said we differ on development, right?
Yeah.
And that we would also look into, because however the development be, it is in the interest of Ghana. But we will look at that. But let's answer this. Let's look at this. What should or what makes us proud as Ghanaians?
Well, I mean, a lot of people will tell you different stuff, right? But let me share some few personal thoughts with you. I think one, what makes me proud as a Ghanaian is the fact that I can identify with the nation. So that identity connected to Ghana alone makes me proud, because this is a nation that has, transitioned from a lot of eras, and then now we are where we are now. Our history is rich, our culture is rich. So to be identified with such rich culture, such rich history, I'm proud to be a Ghanaian. The other thing that makes me a proud Ghanaian is that that's made me a hard guy. It's made me a hard guy.
Yeah, every Ghanaian is a hard guy.
Exactly. Every Ghanaian is a hard guy, and I think we are proud that we are not. We are hard guys. Basically, basically mean that we can live tough times, or because the things we are experiencing now and surviving, we should be proud of ourselves.
But you're not a hard guy because of the oppressive structures.
Those people, probably our forefathers would speak to that they are proud because they've been able to defeat.
No, I mean institutionally, the institutional oppression.
Exactly.
Is that what
Exactly. The things that what Ghana is today.
Yeah.
The kind of institutional biases, institutional discriminations, the kind of nepotism, and the kind of you've been left out of development and even consideration. National cake is shared, and then you can't even lick the knife because it won't get to you. So those things have built us. They say tough times build tough people. And you should be proud to being tough. That is why our people excel when you go outside the country, because come on, you are literally living a Bonsam Gym. They are literally living hell. And you get to places like US, Canada, Europe, you can really survive easily, soft life. That is another thing. Right. And the fact that I can, this is tied to the second reason, that I can easily spot opportunities. I'm proud of that. You need to be in a system where everybody is fighting for something that is limited, for you to have that kind of mindset to know how to identify the spots from which you should attack, or from the spot from which you should, engage. That alone is making me proud. So the culture, the history, the fact that I can identify with the nation is a proud thing. We are enjoying some peace. I'm proud of that. At least nothing at all. There's no Boko Haram in our, sorry to Nigerians, but
as much as we enjoy by one fabric, which is our identity. We'll also ask you to subscribe. We'll also ask you, to share 45 TV, so we can bring you the best of whatever we are delivering.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on to the next topic. We're going to look at the insights. So far, our economy. 67 years down the line, can you draw some lines of symmetry?
This is a very hard path to walk. Right? So immediately post-independence, you could tell the plan from the earlier leaders that they want to industrialize the states and they want to build the economy on an industrial, let's say, platform. Then we moved to the era where there was this structural adjustments and all of that. I mean, we plunged ourselves into some turmoil, and then we had to subscribe to that particular remedy that brought us. So after that incident, or after that period, the economy has not really been built on an industrial platform, sort of. So right now, you cannot really see that Ghana's economy is built on this. At a particular era, we were taught in schools that the backbone of our economy is agriculture. So at those times, we said, okay, Ghana is an agricultural, or our economy is predominantly is an agrarian economy. But now, statistics show that the major contributors to our GDP, to our economy, agriculture is last.
It is.
Services are now taking a chunk of the contributions to our economy or to our GDP, then followed by industry, then agric. At that point, I remember vividly, 70%, or it was in my social studies book back in JHS, 70% of our economy was from agric. Now you can't tell. So because we do not have let's say, fundamental problems with our economy, or structural problems at the base with our economy, we cannot really be happy the state in which our economy is right now. We go back to borrow. We are always in that cycle. We are borrowing. We fund the economy through.
But we have a government. Sorry, I'm sorry to heckle you or interject. But we have a government that's saying that Ghana beyond aid. So where do we stand?
Honestly, I listen to this carefully. The Ghana beyond aid. This is how I understood it. Ghana beyond help. It's like we can't even help the country again. That is how I understood it. I mean, Ghana beyond aid. Yes. Ghana beyond, you can't help it. Like, even if we help, it can't. That's how I understood it. I mean, but people understood it by saying Ghana, we are going to build Ghana with no foreign aid or with no foreign assistance. Fine, good. That's good for them. But trust me, has that been the case? No.
It hasn't.
It hasn't been the case. I was going to share with you how we actually the source of money into our economy. I think I will see two main streams. One, we either how do you call it? We trade commodities to get money, or we go to the capital markets to get money.
True.
These are the two ways we use one. So we do not, let's see, add value to our raw materials to say we are a production hub for a particular thing that is giving us much returns from, exports, right? We do some exports, but then it's just exports of our raw materials as it is. So the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda came in, and I think many people bought into that. However, the evidences are there. They tell you otherwise. We are still running to people for loans, for bonds we can't even pay, and all of that to run our economy. So clearly the Ghana Beyond Aid is what I am telling you.
I would want to say Ghana is on a Gulliver's travel.
Exactly.
When it comes to
exactly.
When it comes to the economy.
Exactly.
Ever since Ghana post 1957 tried to industrialize. We never, after we went to the IMF, we never really sought to have a proper long-term solution to leave the IMF and the World Bank. We have made bets right there, and we are lining there. That's why I said we're on a Gulliver's travel, and we still don't seem to have a proper way to come out of that. We're on a sharp decline. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, I perfectly agree with you. You are spot on with that. As for me, I don't even have problems with borrowing money. Honestly, people do debt financing, so I don't have problem with debts. There are countries that owe more than we do. My problem is with how we manage the debt, or how we manage the monies we go take, and how we manage the debt. The fact that we collateralize almost everything to collect money, fair enough. What do we use the money for? I mean, you have to borrow. See, simplify the whole thing to taking loan as an individual from the bank. You can't take a loan and not put that money into a productive use or a production use, because that's what you have to do for the money to give you returns. Then maybe you can use part of that to sustain the production, and then use part of that to then probably service your debt, all of that. But then it doesn't happen like that in Ghana. We take loans to do stuff that don't bring us return that can pay for that their own money. So if you're a startup, if you're a business person, you want to put money into a venture that can grow itself, and the venture will then pay for its own debts. If you think along that line as against how Ghana manages its loans and all of that, there's this divergence in ideology. So you get to think and ask yourself, these are people who have really gone to the best schools, have the best trainings out of the country and all that. How come they are failing in managing the country? In fact, even within the country, these are individuals who have managed businesses on their own successfully. So it gives you this impression that, do people really gain from plunging the country into this state? Because if you're able to manage your personal ventures successfully and we give you a nation, can't you just replicate same? What is happening? I mean, it's really a difficult thing to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it brings me to another topic I want us to talk about: accountability. Do we hold our leaders? Do we hold our leaders accountable enough? Are we able to bring their feet close to the fire when things are not going right?
Accountability is, to me, in Ghana, is just a concept, or just a more like an abstract concept. Witch hunting is sometimes what comes close to accountability. So I'm coming after you because when you were in power, you did this just to, it's more like get back at you. That's what we do. But then a certain government that can shield its own corrupt officials against accountability tells you what I'm trying to communicate to you or put across, right? So the agencies are there, but then they're not strong enough to perform their mandate because someone with a higher power meddles in their affairs. That's what we see. So the accountability we demand for, we don't see them. So people, for example, let me just reference this minister who kept a large size of money sums of money
under her bed.
And then you would think that this should be a matter of public agency and even to probe into it quickly. The office of the special prosecutor,
do you think it's a lame duck?
That is what it is. The office of the special prosecutor is not really a lame duck. He's trying to work. However, higher powers are meddling and interfering.
But is it not supposed to be independent
that is
from all powers?
Again, that word independence is not really absolute as it is in definition. So there is some bit of dependency from elsewhere. Because the government appoints you, it's more like he has some level of influence on you. So those things are always like that. You can never achieve absolute independence in areas like accountability and all of that. It's I don't think it's going to happen. The closest we got, or we were getting, you saw what the government did. The then, I think, Honourable was asked to go on leave, like force the person to go on leave. How do you do that? That the president says, I'm asking you to go on leave. I don't want to go on leave.
If I don't like your work, you go on leave.
That is, if I can't really, they always come with a strategy to stop the process of accountability. Basically that.
Sad. The conversation is getting interesting. Please subscribe to 45 TV. I'm here with Jeff. And then it's getting hot and hot in here. Wow.
It's heated.
Yeah, we're going to talk about infrastructure, and then we're going to talk about our reliance on foreign donors. Jeff,
Yeah.
infrastructure. You know what? I want to quickly say this before you come. Roads are supposed to be the bread and butter of the Minister for Roads and Highways, right? But do you know that our constitution, for some reason, has made it a sole preserve of executive powers? In fact, the executive president, the president would decide which road should be should be constructed at what time, and would direct the minister to do that. That is why the issue with a Kumfi, I think the issue with this Aguna. Is it Aguna?
Yeah, I get it. I saw that interview where he said because his MP wasn't voted
Right.
for,
Yes.
so he chose to leave.
That's a Kumfi. But I mean, the current by-election that was held.
Yeah, I think that should be
Asinov. Yes, Asinov.
Yeah.
These guys, they've been crying for the road.
Yeah.
I think also
once the by-election.
Yes, in Dentra also, they were also crying for the roads.
Yeah.
And it looks like
similar thing to, I think, somewhere Kwadaso.
So these guys have been crying for the road, but it hasn't caught the president's eye. He hasn't given the directive.
It's good.
So is that not
a quick one? Just before I go into the matter of infrastructure, right? The situations you've mentioned tells you that the people in power are only going to do something if it will benefit them and to serve their personal interest. So ideally, it should be your responsibility as a leader to provide these amenities and infrastructure to the community, because that is how you contribute to delivering socio-economic emancipation to them. But if not for winning elections, he won't do it. You see, that's why some people or some constituents are advocating for the death of their MPs. I mean, interviews, it's on record.
It's on record now.
People say that
people are praying
that their MPs
should
die and there should be a by-election.
Yeah.
Because in that period, then the person who wants to win power, which in this case, the certain government want to win power, they would then want to deliver these amenities and infrastructure to win power or to lure the public to vote for them. And it's bad. That is how we are going to deliver basic infrastructure to our people. It is really, really bad and it's terrible, right? But then back to the infrastructure transformation or development. I mean, it's evident that there's been massive infrastructural development in our country since independence. We've had state-of-the-art hospitals built. We've had state-of-the-art roads and intersections. We've had all those beautiful stuff. I mean, now the railway sector that is also being revived by the sitting president is a laudable thing. And talk about aviation, airports, Terminal 3, the infrastructure is really there. And when it comes to, I mean, we are making some progress over there, right? Except for some reckless comments like a Ghana card is better than roads infrastructure. I mean,
except for that comment.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that there's commitment to. I mean, successive governments want to add a little to infrastructure when it comes to power, but I mean, we can do more. We can do more. Given the corruption, the embezzlement of funds, the perks and allowances we give to people that do not need them. For example, the GRA boss, I mean, his issue.
Dr. Amish
Shaddai has a compensation.
He doesn't know his own age.
He has. Don't even get to that.
But then we did a show on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were asking viewers to go and watch it. That was, I think, one of our first when we started.
Yeah.
We did a whole session on it. Dr. Abishada doesn't recall his own age.
Yeah.
But then it'll be eating into our time today.
Yeah. One last
briefly,
comment,
okay,
right?
Can you lace this with the self-reliance? By the way,
sure. One last comment on Abishada's case. What actually annoyed me on his payment structure is inconvenience allowance. people get allowance.
If I wake up and I don't feel like
people get allowance for
wearing my shoe. There's an inconvenience.
Allowance for you.
Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. Those were the words we heard at the. Is it at the Freedom Square? Black Star Square.
Yeah.
Those are the words we heard from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah at the Black Star Square on 6th March 1957. Today is 2024, 6th March. Are we free forever? Are we free from the donor support we get? Are we free from foreign influence? Jeff is going to take a quick snapshot into that.
We are. This is a very easy answer. We are not self-reliant.
Our budget is 60% funded by the United States.
That tells you we are not self-reliant. I mean, earlier we were discussing about Ghana Beyond AIDS, and I told you that Ghana Beyond AIDS actually mean what I said, that Ghana is beyond helping and is beyond saving. That's what it means. So we are not self-reliant. Given the way the global financial machinery is made, would always make African countries like Ghana continually depend on foreign donors and foreign masters. So there's this new colonialism, or there's this quasi-control, and now it's even becoming more apparent that we have to talk about a quick reference to this. Let me cite this example, the DDEP. Even when we wanted to do that in an attempt to get loan from the IMF.
It's frightening, you know. That whole
exactly
domestic debt restructuring.
I mean, people who have saved their hard-earned money will now have to take a cut. Not only that, now the times those investments should have matured have now been extended. So for someone who has worked and served the nation for 60 years and is on retirement and is hoping to cash out maybe at 65 and pay his last born's school fees, that person probably may die at 70, and that money will still not be paid maybe in the next 10, 15 years. It's just sickening. But the reason why I want to cite that example is that when we even wanted to meet like a debt a debt level that is manageable to prove that we can pay our debt, we had to go and beg outsiders like the Paris Club, China, that hey, we beg you are going for loan. So under normal circumstance, why should an independent state rely on the benevolence of countries outside it to forgive its debt for it to even go and borrow extra debt? So you see the way the cycle is. We can never be self-reliant in. I don't think it will even happen. Our money is not worth anything. The resources we have are in control. Isn't controlled by us. I mean, ratings come from outside to rate our economy and to rate our currency strength. All these things, I mean, it tells you we are in that quagmire. It's a big thing for us to. We can't find out. We can only manage it and survive and stay afloat. That's all.
Will you agree, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is standing in his grave?
Kwame Nkrumah, I'm sure if he was buried with his face up, probably has turned and put his face to the cover.
That's really powerful. That's really powerful. He did say something some time ago when he was in Guinea and was interviewed about the Ghanaian. You know, I think he was asked that if the Ghanaian is timid in the face of all this, and he did say that, you know, Ghanaians are not timid people, as been discussed in the foreign press. Far from it, they may be slow to anger. He did say something in the foreign press when he was interviewed. You know, I think he was on exile in Guinea. This is during the period where we had coups back in the day. And this is what he said I want to share with everybody here. He said, Ghanaians are not timid people, as has been suggested in the foreign press. Far from it. They may be slow to anger and may take time to organize and act. But once they are ready, they strike, and strike hard. It pays no one to tamper with Ghanaian freedom and dignity.
Yeah.
Do you think he was looking into the future?
Absolutely. I think he was just putting across an inherent human nature, that once you subject human beings to certain oppressions, or they are bound to react, basically that. So we may be calm people, we may be dealing with the situation now, but then the time will come, there's going to be that tipping point where people are going to reach their tolerance limit and react. And we are seeing that. Right. The uprisings, they fixed the country, Occupy Julobi, Save Ghana Football recently. The demonstrations are rampant now.
Yeah, but with the demonstration, I think somebody from this government said it's a good, exercise, keep fit exercise.
These are some of the things I refer to as reckless people, right? When you are in that position, you don't feel the pain of the ordinary Ghanaian. You pass those comments. Right. If you had a relative that is in such a situation, you will make such comments.
Right.
MP, an aspiring MP went to the radio station and was crying. Stephen Amwa. He was literally crying on set.
Yes.
When he got into power, in front of evidences suggesting how bad the country is in, he boldly is saying that we are in a good position. People like this,
he speaks from different sides of his mouth.
Should be sacrificed.
On this subject, I want to ask you this very pertinent question: are we failing the republic, or have we failed the republic?
I mean, this answer is very simple, right? On a high level scheme of things, we are failed as a republic, or should I say, we are a failed state in some regard. However, the fact that the youth still believe, or the fact that we have a youthful population, and they believe and have hope and are resilient, tells me that we will turn the corner.
It tells Jeff that we'll turn the color, like the phoenix will rise from the ashes once more. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to touch base on our last topic today. We're going to look at politicians and how they interact with people, the health of politicians. If they really care about their country, why not build proper hospitals, to frequent whenever they take ill? Jeff and I will be looking at this topic. We'll be delving into it, and our case in point will be the demise of the current Deputy Minister of Finance. Sad story, Jeff.
A very sad one. I mean, a young, promising man.
Yes.
It's really sad to be hit by the news of his demise. It's really sad. May he so rest in peace.
May he so rest in peace, for sure. Yeah. There's been a number of stories flown out there. They are just in the air right there. But deep throat sources suggest that the Honourable Minister was poisoned.
I mean, I think my comment on that will be as a science person, as a health person, I think I would wait for a medical autopsy report, right?
Yes.
To actually.
That is why I actually said it's been alleged. I don't want to speak categorically and throw dust
into people's eyes.
Yes,
because another thing that can be considered could be that maybe there's this. It could be a basic hygiene issue, or maybe the food that was given to him had. It may not necessarily be a diabolic act that has been executed, as in deliberately poisoned the MP. It could be that, the food probably was contaminated. Or maybe, like from what I have heard personally, they go on campaign trails and they come back and they have not eaten, or they did not eat when they left for the trail, and then they are back, and I mean, you are in a hurry, you may not pay much attention to, we may regard that as a very insignificant factor. But trust me, that could be where the issue may come from. So these are still my personal opinion, that it could be negligence on keeping the personal hygiene before consuming the food, or the food probably could have been contaminated, having bacteria and their toxins on there. But still again, we wait for the autopsy report to confirm that. But a more important thing to talk about, a more substantial thing to talk about, is the fact that he was being ready to be flown out for Medicare.
Yeah.
That brings in the thought on, should they not invest in health infrastructure to take medical care when in situations like this? Again, it tells you, nobody knows their future. If they know, if we knew, you probably put those structures in place and have the state-of-the-art medical facilities close to you that in the shortest possible time, you can receive world-class medcare. I think he passed away at the Suhum clinic or something.
No.
Where?
He was en route to Accra. He passed away at Suhum.
Oh, okay.
According to the sources from his aide.
Okay. So imagine that the nearest hospital or the nearest facility was that equipped, could have probably put him in a stable condition. Then he could have been the ship to be flown out of the country. Again, it's I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, this should just be a wake up call to them that invest in health facilities, and you never know where you would pass away. And at time I was at 37, and we've had some high profile during the COVID era.
PV Obeng died in his car from an asthmatic attack.
Oh, look at that! And I mean, we had high profile persons who even died at supposed elite health facilities and all of that during the COVID era and all of that. So I think this should be a wake up call. They should prompt them that invest in these places, because you never know where you may need emergency care from. It may be these places to sustain you a little before you are flown out of the country.
We hope you enjoyed this segment. Our economy is in junk ratings. Infrastructure, we may have achieved some successes, but then there's still a lot that's left to be desired. Our healthcare is just being band-aid. Just do what it can to help the Ghanaian. Politicians know this. Do we really have Ghana at heart? Today, we've poured our hearts out. But then we didn't say this, or we didn't put across these things because we wanted to paint a beautiful or a gloomy picture of Ghana. We spoke truth to power. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to what we have to share, our 2 cents. Thank you so much. However, we also want to stress that you like 45 TV, you comment, you subscribe. We can only get better if you comment. We ourselves would want to stand for accountability, because the Ghana we so love is the Ghana you love as well. Thank you. Jeff, you have some few words?
I think you've said it all. I'll just see that.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. Bye.